Welcome back. Well, it is time for our Ask the Doctor segment. You send us the questions and we'll ask the doctor to get you the answers right here on the air. So I want to welcome in Dr. Caitlin Merkin, a surgeon with Mercy Bariatric and General Surgery. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it. And, you know, we're going to hit right at your expertise here for this very first question. A recent study found that bariatric surgery was better for weight loss than weight loss drugs. So talk about what that means for patients. That might raise some questions.
Yeah, so this was a retrospective study out of NYU that compared bariatric surgery to GLP-1 agonists injected each week. They actually found that the weight loss was 5 times greater with bariatric surgery than with the medications. So a couple things to note here. We know that 12% of Americans have tried these medications. We also know that about 50 to 70% of them have stopped them by the 1-year mark. Now, quitting these drugs that are designed to be lifelong has some implications. That can be weight regain. It can be a return of a voracious appetite. We also know that bariatric surgery is heavily underutilized. While nearly a third of Americans actually qualify for bariatric surgery, less than 1% who qualify actually get it. So I think the takeaways from this study is that our most effective tool against obesity is being heavily underutilized. I think what we'll see is insurance companies more inclined to cover bariatric surgery because it is so infectious. I also think that patients might see, hey, I'm spending a lot of money on these drugs, and there's a pretty cost-effective one-time solution that can give me greater results.
Yeah, maybe the long-term versus that sort of, you know, quick fix that people might be seeking with the drugs. Interesting. Okay, so another question here. This one coming from Mary. She recently had a cyst on the back of her neck lanced. Since then, she's had some drainage, some skin redness around it. But then she also says once it was lanced, her back pain that she's had for many years disappeared. So that's kind of curious. But she's concerned about this, wants to know what sort of specialist she should see.
Okay, so Mary, it kind of sounds like you're describing an infected epidermmoid cyst. And these are cysts that can develop anywhere on the body. They can be quiet for years, usually from a kind of a blocked hair follicle. And then they can get real angry and inflamed. And when they get infected, they have to be drained so that you can release the pus so it's not trapped in there. And several weeks after that inflammation subsides, then you need to go in and formally excise that cyst so you can get the whole cyst sac out. I know this is a little gross, sorry. Now, general surgeons like myself often perform these procedures, so you can seek someone like that to help you.
Yeah, very technical stuff, but obviously when it's, you know, bothering you, it's important stuff too. So I know this comes up a lot for a lot of people. Foods that have added protein just seem to be everywhere these days. Of course, protein powders exploding in popularity. We know, of course, that protein is good for you, but should you be seeking out products with added protein? How do you know if you're getting enough? And is there a balance here where it's like the artificial stuff might not be as good for you?
Yeah, so this is a great question. I know protein's been really heavy in social media right now. So it might surprise you to know that most Americans meet or exceed their protein requirements. And just so you know, that requirement is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight or 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. So most people do not need extra protein unless you're, you know, an elite athlete or elderly or have other health problems. Some health problems actually make too much protein a problem for you. So before adding too much protein to your diet, make sure that you talk to your doctor and make sure that it's safe for you. But the takeaway motion is that most people don't need all of this extra protein. It puts a lot of excretory stress on our kidneys and on our livers and isn't necessarily a good thing. If you want to build muscle, hit the gym, get some heavier weights. That's the best way.
Interesting. Of course, I'm always trying to get my kids to eat more protein because I feel like they just eat all the junk. But, you know, we work on that. All right, Dr. Caitlin Merkin, thank you so very much. Do you want to ask Dr. Merkin a question? Well, you can head to our website, submit your questions at firstalertforward.com/askthedoctor.